Y'all, before we even get into it, this ain't just a podcast. This us talking to the block, to the moms, to the homies lost, to the ones fighting demons in silence, to the kings and queens that forgot their crown. We four brothers coming straight from mud, hitting the web not for clout but for purse bills. Here, we the night brothers, speaking truth to the mic, shining through the struggle, bringing dark to the light. Block to your soul, let the message ignite. Podcast for the people, every word take flight. Gritty like the grind, hell first we strive. Social heat in the streets, trying to keep hope alive. 4 mics, 1 mission, make the people revive. It's the night time, tune in, feel the vibe. We 4 deep like corners on the block, mics hot in the lab, cooking truth non-stop, no gimmicks. This ain't clickbait chatter, this heartbeat, struggling soul, blacker than batter. Got fam trying to heal, broke bills on the table. Talk health, mental wealth, if we able, we enable. From the hood to the web, we built this escape. Tired of seeing kings trapped in a lowercase fake. Click clack on the keys, we ain't just pie, we preaching. Street slang, health hacks, real talk preaching. See the system rigged, trying to cage our minds, but we cracking the code like it's Columbine. I'm the brother with the blueprint, knowledge in my stash. Turn trauma to armor, pain into cash. 1 mic, 4 voices, no filters, no mask. We ain't just streaming, we building that path. We the night brothers, speaking truth to the mic, shining through the struggle, bringing dark to the light. Block to your soul, let the message ignite. Podcast for the people, every word take flight. Gritty like the grind, health first we strive. Social heat in the streets, trying to keep hope alive. 4 mics, 1 mission, make the people revive. It's the nighttime, tune in, feel the vibe.
Oh yeah, 4 mics, 1 mission. Nighttime, nighttime.
I seen young blood.
What's going on, my brothers?
Peace, 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 and love.
That's
How you doing, Bridget?
Oh man, feeling good, man. Hey, little brother, what's going on in the corner down there? What's going on?
Hey, what's happening, fellas? What's happening? How y'all feeling?
You see your face in the place, style and grace. What's happening?
Always good, man, to get together once again for another version of the Night Brothers Show. One of our brothers are not with us tonight. He may drop in and may not, but that's okay. We're gonna move on anyway. Brother David, if you're out there, be safe out there, man. Okay. Well, listen, man, we got a lot to talk about tonight. Natural as always, man. It seems like the world just keeps on spinning. Things keep on popping up, and we gotta deal with those things as they pop up, though. And we also want to emphasize our health, man. So many people are lacking in that area that whenever we get the opportunity to talk about that, we need to drive it home strong. Welcome to the show, Margaret.
I tell you, people don't understand that even in the best case scenarios, through the grace of God, man, it just we can breathe in and out this next time, because as best we can do, anything can happen to all of us. But the quality of life that we choose and are able to live is very important. So, we got to be able to kick it just like Miss Nick over here. She always rocks.
Yeah, Nat, you said one key word right there that really struck a chord with me when you said the words quality of life. So many people just want to live, but there's a thing, like you just said, a quality of life. You want your time on earth to be of quality, man. I mean, not just be here, because you could just be here and be incapacitated. But if you have a quality of life, that makes it all worthwhile to me, man. So I couldn't agree with you more. So, Darlene Collins, welcome to the show. And as people come on board, say hello. This is a Night Brothers Show, the show where your opinion matters. So we welcome your comments and your questions as we move forward.
I agree with both of y'all, Q, on the quality of life part and everything that goes along with that. Just as we age,
yes,
it does not mean that your quality has to deteriorate, and that's been shown and proven. I mean, we proved it to ourselves as we've been aging that the body has over some odd trillion number of cells in it, and what people fail to realize is that they all regenerate in a short period of time. So almost every cell in your body turns over after a period of time. I don't know exactly the time. I have to go back and listen, but So that means that you're constantly evolving, and your level of health in each one of those cells could improve, which will improve your overall quality of your well-being. So
That is
Lenny,
definitely the truth.
I mean,
I forgot. I
and
think
I
it
love
might be a couple of years at that point. Might be
yeah.
like 2 years or somewhere around 2 years where you pretty much regenerate a whole new body. So what model are you operating in right now? The 24 model or the 26 model? You
there you go.
popping
Yes, sir.
off with so Q, what you got there? 2030?
Yes, sir.
What's happening?
We want those upgrades now. We want those upgrades, my brother. I want to welcome Pamela Green to the show. I see everyone's podcast, so welcome, Pamela. And like I said, as you come on board, please say hello so we can give you a shout out as we move forward. But yeah, Natural, nothing like having when you have cars, when you have cell phones, when you have other things, they upgrade. So why not? Why
Yeah,
shouldn't we? That physical body upgrade as well. You know what I mean? That
that's it.
regeneration.
Physical,
That's what you're talking
mental,
about.
everything.
Sir.
Spiritual, elevate,
Spirit.
constant.
Yes, sir.
I mean, that's absolutely huge. The information, and I know we on a tangent, but this is what it says. It says cell generation varies widely. The idea that your body completely replaces itself every 7 years. Some tissues
Wow.
generate entirely in days, while others could take a decade. And then it goes on to say stomach lining 2 to 9 days. That's huge right there. Your stomach
Yeah,
lining.
you
That's
can
where a lot of
regenerate yourself. Yeah, a lot of
disease
issues.
starts in the gut. Disease
Right.
starts where in
A
the
lot of
gut.
issues you can
So,
resolve in less than 2
yeah,
weeks.
yeah,
That's what they
exactly.
saying.
So, blood cells, you know what I mean? Every 120 days, that's major. Your blood, skin, 2 to 4 weeks. Ladies, your face could be looking marvelous in 2 to 4 weeks. You know what I mean? So,
There it is.
anyway,
Gentlemen too, not just the ladies, gentlemen too. So
anyway,
we don't want- welcome Cheryl Queen. The Queen is in the building. How you doing, dear? Oh, like Cheryl said,
Yeah,
yes, she strives to age gracefully, and Cheryl, you're definitely doing that.
that's it.
You're living proof of that concept. You know what I'm saying? So
Indeed.
keep on doing what you're doing.
Amen to that. So look, y'all, tonight,
Pam Green.
tonight, kind of a packed show as always, a socially speaking segment that I'm sure everybody will have an opinion on or want to have discourse with us in relation to the subject. If you've seen the cover that we put out on for the show earlier, talking about Nolan Wells, we're going to get into that a little bit. But I ain't gonna steal the thunder. I'm gonna let it rock. Q, come on.
Welcome to the vibe.
And I just want to lay in the shade, get in no shade, you know what I mean? And pontificate on life. We vibing under the city lights. Wherever the wind go take us. If it's good, we make it contagious. Said we vibing, laying on black sand beaches, thinking of what life teaches. So glad and fall from the deep end. Said we vibing under the city lights. Wherever the wind go take us.
Like I said, guys, welcome to the show tonight, and we're vibing. We're definitely vibing. We have a couple of things that we want to cover tonight. Our first vibe for tonight is, what the heck happened to Nolan Wells on the 4th of July? We want to talk about this mysterious death of an 18-year-old Mississippi black kid. Well, I shouldn't call him a kid, young man. I'm going to call him a young man, because that's what he is. What happened to him? We're going to delve into that. Once again, this is the show where your opinion matters, so we look forward to your feedback as we delve into this topic tonight. And secondly, on our feature segment tonight, in vibe number 2, yes, we're going to ask an essential question. What would happen if you did a 7-day no sugar, no carb challenge? And we want to talk about adjusting our diets and see how it affects our bodies. We were just riffing a little earlier about living a quality of life. We want to know if this is something that could help us with the quality of our life. So, Lanny, we're going to delve into these things. Let's get it.
stop hanging out with groups of white people.
Breaking news coming out of Mississippi. It has now been confirmed that a young man who went missing on July 4th while partying with friends on an island has been confirmed to be 18-year-old Nolan Wells. Around 2 p.m. today, Wells' mother would confirm the unfortunate news with a post on her Facebook account. I want to thank our family, friends, community, United Cajun Navy, local law enforcement, and everyone involved for all the love, support, resources over the last few days. His father, our family, friends, and I are absolutely devastated. I'm heartbroken for my sweet son, who was always willing to cheer and uplift others. Nolan was a special soul. God took his time creating our son. I ask that you please give me and my family time to grieve. Now, for those who haven't been following, the story starts on July 4th on an island in Mississippi called Horn Island, where a group of teens and young adults look to have hung out on the remote island's beachfront, a part of the day celebration. Now, according to reports, a black teen by the name of Nolan Wells wouldn't end up coming home that day and was reportedly last seen around 3 p.m. on the island. His mother would first let her followers know when Nolan first went missing. Please be on the lookout for Nolan. Last seen was west tip north side of Horn Island today around 3 p.m. wearing blue shorts and sunglasses. It's unclear if he made it back on land. Please message me if you have seen him or have any information about his whereabouts at or after 4 p.m. Now, as the days continued, authorities would continue their search all the way up to Monday morning at 8:45 p.m. when a body that reportedly washed ashore was found by a park ranger on the west point of the island. Now, what has angered many who have been following are the questions. What happened to Nolan, and why did his group of friends, seen pictured here, leave him if they came together? Now, part of this unfortunate story, race appears to be a large part of the conversation, as many are pointing out that Wells looks to have been the only black person in his friend group. D.L. Hughley would take to a social media page to share an update on Nolan's body being found before it was identified, and he would sound off by zeroing in on Nolan's friends, who according to reports have not provided any key information. Hughley would go on to say, "They don't remember anything, fuck out of here, and why are they not in custody?" Now, as mentioned, it is unclear as to what took place at the time, but many black users would take to social media and express their reaction and speculation to the news.
My mama always told me, if you the only birthday candle at the birthday party, you not there for the birthday party, you there to be the present. Huh? Nolan Wells and this whole entire thing down there in Mississippi look fishy. One of the boys' mama is a judge down there. Don't nobody know what happened.
We have to stop putting our kids in these sporting events, in these schools, in these environments where they are the anomaly. We have to stop doing it. Okay, you want your child to have the best education, the best experiences, the best everything. Yes, but they also need to be around their own culture. They need to.
Black people have got to stop hanging out with groups of white people. And I mean that. If you're gonna be the only black person in that group, go home. Go home. Because these days, you just can't trust white people anymore. Obviously. It happens time and time and time again. You see one black person hanging out with their group of white friends, and they're like, oh, I've known these guys for forever. We grew up with them. I'm the only black person in the high school or something like that. Especially down here in the South, okay? Down here in the South. Obviously, we realize that these pieces of crap, the white people, will turn on you. They will turn on you quick.
And I'm sorry, but the whole, well, I thought he got on another boat. I didn't realize he was missing. Yeah, that's not sitting right with me, because what do you mean you let your friend just get on a random ass fucking boat and everybody's in the comments like, oh, well, we boat hop. This is normal. Nobody thought to go with him. And if it was 4th of July weekend and people were drinking and you saw that your friend was drinking, may or may not have been drinking, why would you allow him to get on a boat if you weren't with them? And don't get me wrong, I've been on a boat. I know cell service is shit. Most people leave their phone on dry land because, shit be flipping over. But if he was getting on another boat and you knew that there was no other way to contact him, again, why would you not get on the same fucking boat? And it'd be different and all the boats were just docked in one little area and you guys were just swimming and, you saw in and out. But again, this just is not sitting right. And then y'all didn't realize he was missing until it was time for you guys to go home. Like, y'all didn't sit here and think, oh, well, shit, where is he? Where could he have been? Why is he not back yet? We're taking shots and he's not here to take shots with. Where's my boy at? Like, y'all don't sit here and ask these kind of questions. Like, there's a rule. If you came with me, you're leaving with me. Like, I brought you here. I'm taking you home. You guys don't live by that shit?
Popular opinion, right? That young man, Nolan Wells, yeah, he was taken out by those white boys. Because who the fuck else would have done it? Like, there's one black boy on a boat with all white people, and the black boy is the only one that goes missing or ends up dead. This has happened so many times over the course of a decade. Black people will be the only ones in the room or on a boat with white people, and they always somehow seem to end up dead or in the water. And to people, it's always the white people who do this shit. They want black people to be oblivious to the lynchings and the killings and the racism that happens to black people. They always want us to be oblivious and not make it a race thing when it is clear as day that it is always going to be a race thing.
All right, folks. Let's talk about it. Gentlemen.
Yes.
Very, very interesting story. And I'm just going to start right in with questions. Who we got? Hold on, David. David, what's up, David, brother? I know you
What's
got
going
something
on, David?
What's up, D?
Amen.
If you can tag in. If you can't, don't worry about it.
Yeah. Pam says she finally got on time. Way to go, Pam. Shots out.
Good to see you. We're lucky to have you.
Yeah, and I want Mimi Lee is have tears in her eyes about this story, but I also want to take the time to wish Mimi Lee a happy birthday again too. Happy birthday, honey!
Happy birthday!
You have a great day. Happy birthday!
Return.
Another birthday, and you're blessed. You're definitely blessed, honey.
Yeah, what you call them, Arden? Solar returns, right?
Yes, indeed. Make that lap around the sun one more time.
No doubt, no doubt. So happy solar
Hey
return
man,
too.
one thing before we even jump into this, definitely our condolences and I mean heartfelt condolences, to the family, because we all have children and we've been blessed that our children have made it past 18 years old. But it's not even something I want to think about, my child not coming back home on a holiday weekend, so to speak.
That's heavy, man. That is heavy, brother.
It's serious, man.
That's heavy.
And that's why I say I just wish the best for the family off the break, because it's just hard to deal with there. I mean, it's a lot.
Now that's a solid point you made, though. I mean, that's probably the last thing that their parents are thinking about. That their son not returning home from a trip, and we got to address some of that as we go into this as well, about being put in these situations, being in these situations, and the expectation from parents and everything else. So, but good point, man.
I was not aware of this. I mean, the story has been unfolding for 3 days now. I guess 2.5 days, because I guess it was late into the evening on the 4th, which was 3 days ago.
Right.
Probably about 4 days ago. So I wasn't aware of it. I guess it was the story broke and became somewhat out in the public yesterday, and then today it's exploding on the internet from what I see. Margaret, yeah, same here. Margaret says she.
I didn't hear about it. I didn't hear about it till this show.
So
sure.
Keep your eyes and ears open if this is something that we're bringing news to you, because it's something that needs to be discussed among several communities.
Yeah.
And I'm not correlating one thing to another, to anything else in the world, but there is a climate. There is a climate going around socially, and I don't know if it affected this situation or not, because these kids seem to had some type of friendship. They had some type of serious friendship. They were always hanging together, always doing things, and maybe one thing led to another. But anyway, I'm not gonna get to that because that's not the question. I just wasn't aware until yesterday. How about you, Keith?
Right.
I was not aware. I saw it on social media briefly, so I wasn't fully aware of it, and I hadn't really investigated the story. But now that we're looking at it more in depth, I just got to say, I'm just going to pump my brakes for a minute, because there's so few details. We don't know all the details that we really know. And I don't want to just cast judgment on the friends or anyone else until we have more details. And we have a tendency on both sides to jump to a conclusion with limited information. So what we need more right now is more detailed information to find out exactly what is going on. But just initial thoughts. It seems strange that you can be out with your boys or your friends, and you disappear and no one knows anything. Just kind of weird. That's all.
With the limited information that is yet to be disclosed, what's your initial thoughts and what kind of sit with you?
Suspect as hell. I mean, really, think about it. You go out with people, you come back with people. I think the girl said it in the video. That's the policy. I don't know, everybody's policy, so that's what I say, and that's how I move. But the bottom line is that, let's be real, and I think you punched on what I was thinking off the break, Lenny, and it's sad. that a climate that has been created that is some shit that was dealt with before. And apparently, since you don't want to talk about things, you don't want to put it out, in the forefront, because it takes an honest conversation to be had. And at this point in time, America is not willing to have that conversation. And as long as you don't have that, you have things coming up that have been over and over, kind of beat. I mean, you thought, you fought that war, you lost, and you know what I'm saying? Go home. But you still fighting the same war. And with more information that shows that, what you're thinking and how people are moving is absolutely insane. Q?
Yeah, I just, not to be a contrarian, but I think we need to look at what we do know. Like I said, there's so much that we don't know, but these are things that we do know. We do know that they were youngsters. They're immature at that age anyway. And, at that age, you kind of think you're invincible and you take risks that you really shouldn't take. We know that they were drinking. They were partying. They were partying. So that kind of can worsen your judgment in certain areas as well. We know they were partying, they were drinking, they're probably smoking, they probably were chasing women, that type of thing too. And so there was some stuff going on which we said, well, maybe the friend should have looked out, or maybe they think he was hooking up with somebody. We don't know yet. Like I said, I'll get back to that. We don't know what was going on. Maybe they feel, oh man, he must have hooked up with somebody. Don't know yet.
Well, additional details did come out today, Q.
Yeah.
The last that he was seen with the group of friends was that he was walking off with a young lady. Now I don't know if the young lady happens to be also Caucasian or what have you.
No,
but the reports make it sound like he was the only African American. So I would have taken. I'm speculating. I would just speculate because the young lady was probably also Caucasian. Does that mean anything or not? He could have been dating her for years. Who knows?
I mean, for real.
But it sounds like, and I mean, you can only speculate. It sounds like something happened by mistake. Because here's the other piece to this: the kids that he were with, the white kids that he were with, did not disclose this information at all until they arrived back. They went out on a boat to a destination somewhere together. All of them went together to a destination. Right. At that destination, they didn't disclose any of this until they got back to land, from what I understand. Now, is this the time
so they flew?
No,
you said
on a boat. On a boat.
Okay, right.
So, is this the time where, because something happened, just stop tripping on. Is this the time where, during that transit, that the concoction of the story? I'm just merely speculating. I'm just thinking, because I don't have nothing else to go on. You're not giving us no details, so it makes the mind start piecing together, your best Perry Mason,
Well, that's why I said instead of doing that, and we blasting and throwing stuff out there, which could be far off the mark. That's why I said we really need that's why I said I'm going to pump my brakes personally. Maybe being conservative till I find out more what's going on, because I don't, you can ruin other people's lives by casting aspersions against them about what they did and make them guilty. I can remember an incident, this Duke lacrosse team about 5 years ago, they were accused of raping this woman. And it comes to find out they didn't rape her at all. But their names were branded with this rape. And it affected some of their futures. So I don't want to cast aspersion yet. I just want to get more information. And then we can go in deep and go in hard.
No, I'm not doing that. I'm just throwing out hypotheticals.
No, I didn't say you were. I didn't say you were. Yeah. I'm just saying that has happened in the past. So that's why I said let's get more information first.
Pam adds to the conversation. It's asking the question, why did they hurry up and get lawyers?
Good question, Pam. Good question.
I mean, the behavior.
I would have.
The behavior lends to a whole lot of questions. The behavior from the party of friends, for them to get all the way back. That's not normal behavior. If we were all together and and it was a white kid with us or what have you, anybody. You don't need to be color driven. If something happened to somebody, even if it was by mistake, in an infliction of harm by somebody that may be amongst the party, it would seem prudent. It would seem prudent that you would seek for some type of help as fast as you possibly can. The other note that came out is that he was an excellent swimmer. So they were partying around a body of water, so it adds even further cloud of doubt and suspicion to what's going on. But anyway, Q, that's what we do know. And so the last question I would ask you in the audience is, and I know we might be going a little more into the Perry Mason realm, but what do you think the friends should they have done more? Should they be held to some type of account for not disclosing information regarding a person being missing that was with them? You're almost like self-guardianing each other at that age. You know what I'm saying? So, what you thought? Thoughts?
What it is.
Go ahead, Nash. You want to go? You can go ahead first, because I have some thoughts. But go ahead.
No, I mean, it's fine with me. I'll go. I'm just saying, I think that it should be some sort of expectation that if I jump on a boat with you and we leave out together, that we gonna come back on the same boat, unless you know that I know. And I'm telling you, look, I'm going home with her, and that's what's happening. So at that point in time, he's missing. Well, he went home with Becky Sue and on her speedboat. So check it. You know what I'm saying? You should be able to point somewhere if something happened to your boy if you left him. Period.
Now, David is saying they had to get lawyers because they knew they would be suspects, and that's probably a lot of truth to that.
Well, I can honestly tell you, when I told them where they were and I pointed to them and helped them out to find whoever it was, it would have been beside my lawyer, because many a innocent man had been in prison because he was the easiest one to talk to.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. And Teresa says, well, they believe the truth will come out. I believe the truth will come out. And Teresa, I'm in agreement with you. And I agree with you as well. Leaving them behind that's what sticks in my craw right there, Natural. Them leaving them behind. Now, I understand, like I said, I understand you're partying. You're out there getting it in. You're drinking. You're doing whatever else. You're out there just trying to have a good time. But if he was really your friend, it seemed like if he didn't come back with you, at least you would be trying to find out or calling and, man, where are you? Trying to hit him on the phone or whatever, making sure that he was cool, he was good, no matter who he went off with. So, like I said, there's so many details that we're just not aware of at this point that we're gonna have to wait till more information gets out, and then we can go in hard and find out, have a better idea of what may or may not have happened. Whether there's an accident, whether there's some behavior behind it, which could have led, I hate to say this word, but could have been something, it could have been murder. Who knows? We don't know. We don't know.
Foul play.
Foul play is a better word. I'm sorry. Thank you for correcting. Foul play is the word I was looking for. Yes. Because Natural very well could be foul play. Like I said, we just don't know yet. We don't know yet.
I know.
Well, what we do know is he ain't gonna see his parents don't see him come through that door no more.
Nope.
That's when it's all said and done. Because that's it, really. That's all they want.
That's the wrong that need to be righted. I will say this, and I will throw this out because I gotta say it, just because if this was, 15 black boys and one white kid was missing. Now, I'm not saying it's only 3-4 days. You know what I mean? Do you think the court of public opinion would have weighed in stronger?
Oh my God. The president of the country right now spent $100,000 for a front page or full page ad on the New York newspaper.
I like that.
For a while, to indict 5 black men, young black boys or young men, and they got put in prison. And guess what they found out? They didn't do it.
Innocent. Years later, natural.
Central Park 5. Central Park 5.
Exactly.
But Lenny,
So,
I like.
would it be different? I mean, I'm just saying, if you want to keep it a buck, would it have been different if it was a prominent young white boy with all those black guys
That's the crew.
and they don't know what happened?
This is the crew. I'm just gonna kind of pause.
No,
the
I'm just
video
saying it, and they saying
and
they
let
don't
you
know
see.
what happened. They're gonna look at him and be asking, "You don't know what happened?" They gonna keep asking. You mean you don't know what happened for real? Come on, for real.
Lenny, if
Don't
you
know.
want,
12 guys, 12 friends along with Nolan here, and not one of them know anything. That's
And
like
this
one-
is a small town, right? So don't nobody know the girl he walked off with? They just saw him walk off with the girl.
not really sure yet. So we don't know. We really don't know that.
I'm
But
just
that's-
saying these are questions that's gonna be asked and need to be asked.
Yeah.
And those
Oh, yeah,
threads
and that's
be
what
cool.
it is to be asked. But I
But-
like
and-
what Davis puts right here. Listen to what she says right here. She said, "My nephew goes out with friends who are mostly white, and I make sure I get a photo, number, and name. There are too many things happening to our young men, and that she is right on point right there, man. Make sure you have some information because you want to know who they're with, have some idea where they are, and so if something is amiss or they're late in their return, you have someone to contact and find out what is going on." So
Absolutely.
Well, look, I'm gonna tell you that I completely agree with that. But I'm gonna
Yeah.
tell you off break, as somebody that would say, I don't give a damn if they're all white, if they're all black, if anybody going after my child, and
Yes, sir.
they rolling out like that. You want that information because nowadays,
sir.
if something's wrong with the car, is they all in there together. If it's something in the car, they all in there together. You want all that information. We going out for the weekend? Oh yeah. Well, what's your name? Where your people at? Who's your father? It's crazy, but that's what you got to do as a parent. Not just today, but it's been that case. And think about it. When we grew up, you wanted to go over to see Terry or go over, man, they going over to see Terry house and go and meet Terry moms and father, whoever else. They gonna not talk to them on the phone. They gonna put eyes on them for real. And then that's realistically what kept the community tight because it really made a really network of your friends. Their parents was friends after a while. You know what I'm saying? So you couldn't get away with nothing. Oh, he said he was over your house. Nah, man, I saw him. You see him at the store the next day, they blowing your spot up. Like, nah, he wasn't here. They said they was over there. And you get caught. But the bottom line is that people not connected like that. I mean, for real. And I know your child can say, oh, no, everybody's all right. But you're right. You need that information. And it's always been that time. It's not just new.
And natural, you're right. I don't care if they're black, white. I don't care what racial ethnicity. I still want that information because
Yeah, it's my kid.
Exactly, that's my child, and this can happen. I don't care who she with. She could be with a group of Chinese or Asian people, I should say, and it can still happen. And those type of things have happened, so it doesn't
That's
matter
right.
racial ethnicity. It just
But that's
I want the
mean,
information. Yeah.
Just
I
put it
would
out
say-
there.
That's the same with like sleepovers and things like that. Sending your children out to things like that. I want to know where is my child going to that she's gonna be spending the night at some sleepover. I want to know.
And who there? Who was you saying, Lenny?
And it's not that his parents didn't know either. So let's put that in here. His parents might. I mean,
No, I'm
'cause he
not-
played,
yeah.
He played.
Thank
He played football. I'm just wanted if we being, looking at all angles and perspectives. He played football,
Right.
so he was
Okay.
obviously some type. They say he was some type of football star among those peers. So I'm sure that the parents probably had some understanding
Knowledge of who.
his
Right.
friends, his friend base, you know what I mean, core friends anyway. So, but anyway, look, we got to wrap this segment up.
Gotta move on.
We
But
will
gotta
update this.
appreciate the comments. We appreciate everybody's comments and questions, everything else. As always, this is where your opinion matters. So keep bringing them.
We will update this on the other side when we David joined us. Way to go, David! All right, Dave, my man.
Today we're going to talk about 7 foods that have 0 sugar and 0 carbohydrates. It is true that most of your foods that you're eating are probably loaded with carbs. Carbs have been responsible for most chronic disease. An average person in the U.S. consumes 67% of all their calories from carbohydrates. It's one of the fuels that feeds cancer. It's important to know what a carb is and what foods have it and what foods don't. I think the best way to start this out is to really simplify carbohydrates, because people get confused. There are 3 types of carbohydrates. We have a sugar carbohydrate, another type of carbohydrate called fiber. The thing about fiber is the fiber doesn't raise the insulin level. It doesn't raise your blood sugar. So the real problem with chronic disease isn't necessarily the fiber. It's the sugar and something else. It's actually this right here, starch. This is the thing that a lot of people don't understand can be even worse than sugar, because most people are consuming refined starch. They add a bunch of stuff in there. They might add bleach to it to take out the color and other preservatives, because it's now more exposed to air. They have to preserve it. But there's actually 3 main bad things in the grains. Gluten, that's the protein part. Our bodies don't digest gluten. In fact, it's one of the only proteins that our bodies can't digest. Of course, you have the starch itself and sugar. The next point I want to bring up is the brain. You'll hear this all the time, that your brain needs sugar because your brain could only run on glucose. Well, if that was the case, we would all be dead long ago. How do you explain all the carnivore people who seem to be doing very fine? They don't have very many problems. In fact, they're getting rid of a lot of problems. Yes, your brain can run on glucose, but it can also run on ketones that come from fat. There's no such thing as an essential carbohydrate. We can survive without carbohydrates. Why? Because our bodies can run on different fuels. They can run on ketones and fat, and they can run on glucose. What you have to realize is that any glucose that you need, your body can make it out of non-carbohydrate sources. Now that we got that out of the way, let's cover the 7 foods that have 0 sugar and 0 carbs. Number 1 is fat, and this would be any of the pure fats: butter, ghee, which is a version of butter, cod liver oil, you have olive oil, coconut oil. All of the fats have 0 carbohydrates, which means they don't trigger that insulin spike. Excessive insulin is behind most chronic illness. Number 2 is any of the meats: beef, pork, lamb, chicken, fish. All of those proteins have virtually 0 sugar and carbohydrates. Any of the meat and fat is going to be good to be able to reverse the chronic illness. Number 3, organ meats. Liver is the most common one. You see, organ meats and meat are the most nutrient-dense foods that you could possibly eat, and they're virtually 0 sugar and carbs. Number 4 on the list is eggs. It's so close to 0, we can even call it a 0, and there's never going to be a problem with you consuming eggs and getting too much sugar. There's 0 sugar in the whites, but most of the nutrition is in the yolk. We're talking about the active form of vitamin A. We're talking about choline, B vitamins, the trace minerals, and very important phytonutrients for the eye. Super healthy to reverse chronic disease. Number 5, shellfish. Shellfish have some carbs, okay, but it's so small. And the benefit of shellfish is huge. And I'm talking about shellfish that are wild caught. It can provide all the trace minerals in the most bioavailable way, like selenium, which tends to counter mercury. Shellfish is loaded with zinc, and zinc is so important in increasing and maintaining testosterone. And out of all the shellfish, we have oysters at the peak of all of those shellfish. Number 6, raw cheese. It's a really good source of protein. It has a lot of other nutrients in there. I always feel good when I have raw cheese. Of course, if you can find European cheese, that's better. Sheep or goat cheese is even better than some of the cow milk cheeses. Raw cheese gives you the best source of calcium. It's one of the best sources of phosphorus. It is a really good food to increase nutrients, especially vitamin K2, which, by the way, helps you keep calcium from building up in the arteries and the soft tissues. Number 7 are certain types of vegetables which have a tiny bit of carbs. Any of these vegetables I'm going to talk about will never, ever, ever, ever spike your blood sugar at all, because the fiber in there is going to buffer any type of, sugar that's in there. It's just so tiny. Watercress, mushrooms, spinach, and arugula have just a tiny bit of carbs, and that includes lettuce too. Swiss chard, bok choy, kale, zucchini is another good one, celery, cucumbers. And I love cauliflower. You can bake it, you can cook it, you can add butter to it, add cheese to it. You can make mashed cauliflower, delicious. Also, when you get into the herbs like pepper and thyme and sage and garlic, those are even tinier amounts, so you don't have to worry about them. I just gave you the list of foods that if you focused on those foods, you would literally reverse diabetes, chronic illness, because most illness is caused by the consumption of too many refined carbohydrates in the form of starches and sugars.
Wow, that's a lot of information there.
What's up,
Dave?
Gentlemen.
What's going on, my brother? Appreciate you hustling to get to the show tonight.
Yes, sir.
Well, hit us off, Dave.
Listen, y'all. We just want to let you know, I know y'all don't believe this, because we're so smart. But we are not doctors or physicians. We are not providing medical advice. This info is for your educational purposes only.
Yes.
Say that again, Dave.
They think we're so smart. I know they think we're doctors, but we're not doctors or physicians. We're not providing medical advice. It's for your educational purposes. If you have a medical condition, please Seek medical advice from your physician before attempting anything seen on this Night Brothers show. All right?
Thank you,
That's
brother.
what's up. That's what's up.
Legal. Keep us
So
legal,
Dave-
brother. Keep us legal.
It is.
Dave, let me get you back on the screen because we had originally didn't know if you were going to make it. So anyway, we're glad you did make it. So we put you back in effect. So these first set of questions actually go to you, Dave. And before we start this segment, let me just say, we're putting out a 7-day no sugar, no carb challenge. Now we know it's sudden, so we're not starting this week. We're gonna give you a whole week from now. We're gonna give you a whole week to adjust, get your mind
They need
right.
a week to practice or something?
To get their mind right. You can't just throw it on them and say starting tomorrow morning. You know what I mean? You gotta let people
Come on, son.
ease
Hey, if
their
you need
way
a
in.
donut now, go get one. We're gonna start tomorrow morning. See you next. You know what I'm saying? Let's rock, baby. What you playing for?
We're gonna start July 14th, which is next Tuesday, and going through July 14th through the 20th. Well, you can start today to get, you can get a jump start if you want to. But publicly, we're putting it out. We want to know who's down, and it's not about.
Sounds good.
I'm in.
I'm in. Somebody's stepping up. Already before I
who we
ask the
got?
question.
I'm in.
You know what's up. You know she was in.
That's what's up.
You know she was in.
So if you're down for the challenge, now here it is. You do not have to be perfect. You could be imperfectly consistent.
Hey man, ain't nobody giving nobody no shorts, man. Don't start over here half step.
No, hear me out. Hear me out.
Down for the 7. Let's go. Let's go. Don't go in there thinking you can step off.
Your
But if you slip, come back in.
Your level of commitment and expertise may be different from somebody else. That's why I'm putting out there.
Exactly.
Because I don't want people to do is to say, well, I can't do that because I can't do that completely 100%. I'd rather you try and F up 50% of the time because that means you got it right 50% of the time. You know what I'm saying? So anyway,
it's steps in the right direction. What it is. Steps in the right direction.
T. Davis, shout out.
Teresa's
Oh,
in.
yeah.
All right, Teresa.
Next Tuesday. We go Tuesday.
Kevin said he in too.
Kevin said
okay. That's what's up, Kevin, my man.
That's what's up. He there?
Yes, he is.
Man, start in the team, Black.
Slide him on in here, man.
Start over there.
We in the room. We in the room.
Oh, okay. All right. That's it. Shoot. Hey, look, you might be busy.
All right, Dave, look, we're going to start with you, man. So on this 7-day challenge, Dave, let's start with the questions. Why do people say sugar is a big health threat?
Wow. Why is sugar one of the biggest health threats? Added sugar is easy to overconsume and does not keep you full. It kind of makes you want to keep adding more sugar. You drink a sugary drink, you ain't thirsty. I mean, you're still thirsty. You're not full. You just want more of it.
Mm-hmm.
So it never really satisfies that hunger and fills you up. It's empty calories, as they say.
I hear you.
I hear you, brother. I hear you.
Yeah.
Shout out to
Margaret Nick is in.
Margaret Nick is in. All right, Margaret. All right. But go ahead, David. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. Drives craving and weight gain and blood sugar spikes and higher risk for type 2 diabetes and heart disease.
Well, that's a big issue in our community right there, brother. That's a huge issue in our community right there. No question about it.
For sure. And we put sugar in almost everything. We put it in our beans.
I mean, everything. Yes, sir.
Yeah, you're right. It's already sugar.
No, you ain't lying.
And they put more sugar in it. But I'm not gonna stay on that. I'm not gonna stay on that. What you have for me, Al?
I want to ask you one thing though, now. So if you don't mind, I want to ask you one thing. Why you're talking about we put sugar in anything? Could you just tell the people a couple of things that you use in lieu of sugar when you're trying to sweeten something, like say the beans or something like that? Just very briefly, tell some people some of the things you like to use in lieu of that, if you would.
You asking me?
No, I'm talking to Art, as far as the sweet.
Art got a lot of tools in his tool shed. Go ahead, Art.
I mean, it's just a lot of things. I mean, you can use. It's different types of sugars. You have date sugar. I mean, like actually from crushed and granulated dates. You have like a deep brown sugar. I forgot the term for it, but it's a ground real thick crystallized sugar.
Raw. Raw sugar.
I use it's raw. All of it's raw. They have. I use sometimes a lot of times maybe like some maple syrup if it's something that I don't mind the maple flavor. Sometimes maple flavor will enhance it. But the other thing of all of these things, there's still sugar. They still spike. They still spike your sugar. Even those, some of those things, they still spike it. Now, what I call crack is the crystallized sugar, corporate sugar that we all get when we say that. That's what they write in the sand right there.
Yeah,
right there.
Right where they're writing it. Yeah.
What they write there right there. That's like crack. So that type of sugar that everything is extracted out of and it's just straight sugar. I guess, what happens to the body when you consistently take sugar? It's, carbs. Even if it's like not sugar like that, but for real, just like carbs, sugary foods, they digest quickly. And to kind of put it into layman's terms, when it digests quickly, your sugar just spikes and your insulin spikes.
No doubt. All right.
Then when that spikes, you get that real quick rush, and then it just drops you, and then you get a crash, and people get tired, they get hungry, and it's another cycle. Now you tired and hungry. Guess what you want? You want it again. It's another crazy thing. So, like I said, if you took it to the street, it's like. What I mean by it, it's almost instead of you sniffing it or whatever else, you smoking it or shooting it in your brain, in your veins, because it's going straight to your brain, because there's no fiber to slow it down. What happens? You have food with sugar and fiber. The fiber slows down the digestive process, so it doesn't hit your system so fast, and it slows down the digestive process, and the influx of sugars and spiking slows. What were you saying, Lenny? I apologize. I just wanted to finish that sentence.
A study showed that, and Q, I'm coming your way next. A study showed that that when compared to like crack cocaine or cocaine, sugar for in the brain excited the senses, hundreds of times more profound than the drug did, cocaine or something.
It's more addictive. Yes, definitely. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm glad you said that, and I was gonna get that to the next question. But the bottom line is, I want everybody to have and go into this sugar fast for a week and really understand what you're up against. It's literally like if you have a friend that's got an alcohol problem, that's what you fighting. It's gonna be that hard. For them, if they're alcoholic, for them to stop drinking for a week and you to stop eating sugar for a week is going to be about the same. So you're going to see what their struggle is if you ain't never had no substance, or you
Teresa
think you ain't never had no substance.
I like what you're saying here. Teresa said sugar is the real drug on the market.
It's the first drug on the street. I used to tell nobody give my children no sugar. Oh, they so nice. I wanted to give them some candy. No, they said no. My daddy don't tell me. He told me I can't eat that. Or you talk to him first, and they come over and say I wanted to give him some of this. I said no, they don't need none of that. I appreciate it. Just tell them that whatever compliment you want to give them.
So Q. Your question is, and for the sake of time, I might give you two of your questions. Is low carb mainly about weight loss? Does it improve other health? And because of the sake of time, I'm actually going to throw two questions at you.
Okay,
a little out of order, but
I'll go with the first one. I'll go with the first one first. While a low carb diet can effectively help with weight loss, it does so much more than that. And people have to remember that. It can do things like make for a better metabolic health. It lower carbs helps do things like it levels out your blood sugar levels. It stops some of those spikes in your insulin, which, like I said, that's where a lot of the issues come from when that insulin keeps spiking, because like Natural and David said previously, that's where those cravings hit you, man. And you're just going crazy. You're watching TV and all these cravings hitting you because of your spiking and crashing. And a low carb diet will kind of level that out. You feel full longer. That's another thing, which can lead to the weight loss. Because when you're eating a protein heavy diet or protein diet, and leaving some of those carbs out, it has you feel satiated, more satiated, and the tendency is to eat less when you do so.
Ironically, David, based off what Q was just saying, some people actually feel more energized when they cut their sugar. Could you talk about that a little bit?
When they cut their sugar,
yeah,
they feel more energized.
Yeah,
that can happen. That can definitely happen. So you stop going up and down.
Yeah,
Give you quick energy, drop you like a wrestler, just body slam you right down. But when you use proteins and healthy fats and fiber foods, you got stable energy. You know, it digests slower in your blood sugar, so you become more stable and have more energy. You don't get that body slam.
Yeah.
There it is. Don't nobody want that body slam.
Nobody want that body slam.
For real.
I love your analogy.
Till it gets slammed.
I love that analogy. How you say, you know, it's like you boom. You know what I mean?
That's right.
All right, coming your way. Rapid fire fashion, brother. I'm gonna throw two your way. How can cutting sugar actually help with reducing cravings? Because cravings is huge, which causes most people to quit their diet. And then the other question is, what are some strong, no sugar, low carb foods that people can use to build meals around? Talk to those two.
Okay, one thing real quick, if I can make an analogy, an analogy with the first one, you're gonna have to survive the old you and make it long enough through the old you to become the new you, and this 7 days is gonna be it. In 7 days, you'll find that the 8th day you won't really want any sugar, you really won't want any carbs. And if it is, it's just because somebody might be dangling it in front of you. But after you eat it on the 8th day or the 9th day or whatever that day is, after you eat it, you'll feel something different, and it's gonna make you feel like, oh, and you're gonna feel your energy change, and you'll be able to kind of feel it. It's something that you have to go without for a while to feel how bad it makes you feel when you do it again, or how uncomfortable it makes you. But you've just been geared to take sugar and carbs, so that's what it is. But after you finish and you get past a certain point, it's almost like if you're fasting. If you don't eat and you just kind of drink and you do a water fast or a tea fast or whatever else, after the 4th day, you're at a point where you really not hungry and you're really not thinking about food a whole lot, even though people would think so. And your energy levels out also. So being without and fasting does that. Intermittent fasting also does that. When you get used to doing, say, an OMAD lifestyle, you feel that same kind of situation. Do you feel like that, Q? Like just doing like an OMAD? You don't have those cravings, especially if you don't eat those type of things when you start eating. After a while, it's not even.
I shy away from those things when I finally do break my fast, and that helps.
Right.
That helps immeasurably. But continue on.
I'll get to the second question real quick and get out of here. Like, some low carb foods people can build meals around, and I'm, especially if you're omnivorous,
carnivorous,
eggs, bacon, cheese, chicken, lean meats, tofu, like Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, avocado. Definitely the oils, because realistically you want to be more in fats. So like your olive oil, your coconut oil, nuts, seeds, broccoli, spinach, cabbage, kale, cucumbers, zucchini, salad, and like your key replacers for sugar. The biggest thing is, actually you got like stevia. I didn't say that earlier, which is a plant-based kind of sweetener, which is all plant-based. To me, I feel like it has a little aftertaste to it, to me, but a lot of people just love it. The biggest thing is that even though you step away from the carbs, don't jump into a whole lot of snacks like the keto snacks. Anything that's in a bag, in a package that's been processed. Try to stay away from those things and still focus on real foods when it's all said and done. The reason why most people have a 60% diet of starch is because America pitched a 60% diet of starch 60 to 80, 60 years ago. And that's a whole nother show we could jump into why we eat what we eat.
I'm gonna throw it to you, Q, in a second, but most people aren't aware of this, but like sugar as a substance, it's been around for some hundreds and hundreds of years, but it wasn't widely used in the diet. It wasn't until like the late. Hold on, let me finish. It wasn't until the late 1800s to where it was started to become a prevalent part of the diet, and then up until the 1960s when high fructose corn syrup, which is the derivative from cane sugar and processed and everything else, became exploded on the scene. And so it's really been less than 60 some odd years when you think about the prevalence of modern day sugar. But anyway, Q, jump in here on this last question.
Yes, sir.
And then we'll let everybody follow up.
What does a realistic 7-day no sugar, low carb challenge for viewers actually look like? There's certain things you just want to remove from your eating right now, such as big thing is sugar drinks. Getting rid of those sugar drinks, the sodas, the sweetened teas, the sweet teas, the coffee with the sugar and all that kind of stuff in it. If you're drinking one of those coffees in the morning, loaded lattes and all that kind of, getting rid of all that garbage, man. Getting rid of all of that. Getting rid of the candy bars, the candy snacks. Getting rid of the desserts. Yeah, that's a tough one for some people. You gotta leave that piece of cake alone. Leave that piece of pie alone. Leave that donut alone. You know what I mean? You gotta cut those things out. The white breads, the rolls. You smell that those warm rolls? Keep walking. Leaving them alone.
Keep rolling.
Keep rolling.
Eat your protein, and instead of having a steak and fries or a baked potato, have that steak with some steamed broccoli. Have it with some kale, a kale salad, a garden salad. So combining vegetables along with your protein instead of having starches like white rice or mashed potatoes or baked potatoes or French fries.
What if I want my rice to be brown? I mean, if I got brown rice, what's happening?
Well, brown rice, even though it's better, it's much better than the white rice nutritionally, but it's still a carb. It's still a carb.
Dang, man, he took the brown rice, really?
It's still going to affect. It's going to still have the effect that carbs will have on your diet. So you're better off just having. If you want to have rice, you can have rice cauliflower, which people are sleeping on that. Cauliflower is a very versatile vegetable. I've had rice cauliflower, and man, you can do things with that you wouldn't believe, and get taste out of it that you wouldn't believe. No question about it. So I'm a really proponent of rice cauliflower.
So let's recap. Yeah. Because what we told folks tonight was we're going to do a 7-day no sugar, no carb challenge. We are saying that we're going to start this next Tuesday, which is the 14th, and we're going to go through the 20th. We don't expect perfection. We just ask for effort, participation. If you F up one day, it's all good. If you mess up one day, it's cool. If you eat a cake, if you had a party or wedding or whatever.
Yeah, we got a wedding.
We're just asking you to be cognizant of what you are doing. So, and we just want to see what the effects we know what the effects can do to you.
Right.
So we got to give some solutions before we go. We got about 3 minutes to give some solutions. Solutions is you're going to have to remove bread. Just think about that off the break. You're going to have to remove all sweets, whether it's cake, ice cream, candy, hard candy, chocolate, all of those types of things are going to have to be combined by. So between now, you got a week. Between now and next week.
Eat it up now. Eat it now.
No.
Hold on. Let me finish.
Go ahead.
Between now and next week, the way that you can do this is every day let's take away something. What we suggest, David, is starting tomorrow, remove all liquid sugars out of the way. That's because that's the easiest way to replace. You could just go to water or tea with no sweetener, no sugar in it, or black coffee or something, or seltzer water or something. You could drink that opposed to anything that has sugar in it. Let's start with that tomorrow, and then you can pick what's next. If you want to start with the breads, that would be I would suggest the bread, the crackers, those type of things would be next, because the sweet stuff might be the hardest. I don't know, but that's what we suggest. What say you, David, before we wrap up?
Get you a big jug of water to help you.
Yes.
Get you a big jug of water to help fill you up. Yeah, keep that next to you.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of times we're just thirsty and not hungry,
Yeah.
and
Right.
it can help get you through those rough patches anyway. I agree with you.
Right. And
Drink
by
it
the
up.
third day, you might start scratching and itching, and it's okay. It's okay.
You're tripping, boy. You're tripping.
No, you are right, because there will be some
Stretch
type
it
of,
now.
Yes, sir.
there will be some type of withdrawal situation. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you all this. Audience, listen very closely. Have you ever left the house without your wallet, and you was gone most of the day without your wallet? You just didn't have the need to use your wallet.
Mm-hmm.
Stay with me now. Stay with me. And so you've been out 7, 8 hours all day. Didn't know you had left your driver's license, all that at home. Didn't have the urge to eat or nothing, that type of stuff. The moment you realized you didn't have your wallet, everything happened. You got hungry. You know what I mean? All these worries came in.
Mm-hmm. What if I get pulled over? Yeah.
Well, I'm not even. I'm just from a perspective of
Help.
food scarcity
Yeah,
Scarcity came to mind because it was a possibility. I'm 40 miles from home and I ain't got no money with me. And now all of a sudden I'm hungry as hell. So no, I'm just keeping it real. So I'm just telling you.
I got you.
I'm telling you, it's a mind over matter thing. So, and I'm
Right.
arming you. I'm arming you with the covenant right now, with the sword and the shield. So when you go to battle, you got these in the back. Stop it, Arj. When you go to battle in the back of your mind, David don't know what I'm talking about. I might not be biblically correct, but they know what I'm talking about.
No, you're close enough. You're close enough, brother.
When you go to battle, you know that this is mental. Okay, so that's all I'm gonna leave you with. Anything else? Cause we about to be out, y'all.
No. But I would just like to say we want everybody to at least try. This like Lenny said, we may not have perfection, and I can say it's going to be a challenge for me because I'm going to a couple of events, which Lenny will be there too, particularly at a wedding. That it's going to be a bit of a challenge to pull this off. But even though may not have perfection, we can at least move in the correct direction. You know what I mean? As Lenny said earlier, a 60% rate is better than what would be previously. And I'm gonna take David's example too of drinking plenty of water. I'm just gonna keep drinking plenty of water, man, as I try to do daily anyway. But this will help me to get through this challenge also.
Before you start,
I
just
just
take
ask
inventory.
everybody. Say it again.
So before you start, take inventory of the pains that you have that will start to go away, the headaches that you have, the ailments that you have. So when you're on day 3, 4, or 5, you start to note, you'll forget that they were there because they will start to subside. And the conditions will, I want you to take note of the things that's bothering you before you start this. Because I want you to see it's not always about the scale or the weight that's lost. It's about other things that take place.
It could be joint pain or anything. It could be anything that you're having right now. So.
All right, you got the last word, Ard.
Okay, so before we start, just to review, take a note, and I'm not just saying take a mental note. Write down those things that you feel, that you kind of all of those things that they just stated. Write those things down. Put it in your 1 week fast book, and or your notes or whatever else in your phone. But the bottom line is, all I'm saying is just if you anticipate that you're going to do this, or you know that you're going to do the challenge every day, wake up with the intention of making it through that day without eating any sweets or carbs. Period. Something happens, the next day you wake up with the same intention of you're gonna go through this day without eating any sugars or any carbs.
Now, now,
Do that
so
for
you know
seven
what?
days. Do that for
Now,
7 days, and be honest with yourself. You know what I mean? If you make it, if you didn't, what it was, and then the next day, if it was better, if it was worse, when you got those cravings, when it really hit you. I'm telling you, you're dealing with some real shit. And I'm just want to leave you on this note because you are dealing with the number one drug on the street. This is the first drug you were addicted to. That's what you facing, and that's what you're dealing with. Dead ass. So write that down and really understand where you are and go through the week and see how you feel on the seventh day. And even if you didn't make it all those days, see if the seventh day was better than the first day. That's all I'm asking.
hey, David, I got to say something. Natural just said something just now. He said, even if you don't make it, you the next day get back. And that reminded me biblically of repentance. You know, when we sin, we fall short. We fall short. All we do is go to God. I messed up. I messed up today. All right, now tomorrow help me get it right. I talked about that this morning. And David, you understand what I'm saying? It's the same thing. And if you use that principle with this same thing with your health, it all comes together. All of that will come together for you. You want us to got anything to say about that before we leave out of here, brother?
I agree. Fall down and get back up.
Yep, fall down. Natural, all you said is when we fall down, we gotta get back up. I love what you said now.
Who sang that song? Who sang that song, David? We fall down.
Donnie McClurkin.
Get back up.
Yeah, I don't like to just skip over that when people throw that analogy out. Is that we fall down but we get back up? We fall down. There's some stuff that happens before you get back up, and that's here, and that's a decision to get back up. Because I can show you a whole lot of people and a whole lot of times and a whole lot of stories that show people fell down and they stayed down because they laid down. So who are you? You the person that's getting back up. My instructor used to always say a chicken raised a chicken. If you expect somebody to do something, you do something. So if you fall down, you expect somebody else to get back up, then get your ass up. 7 days, that's all we saying. Get up for 7 days. Can you do that? You with that? You for the culture, and for the culture, gonna start with you, baby. I know we gotta cycle this out because we over time, so I gotta leave you with a rhyme. Peace.
Good night.
For the culture, baby. For the culture. All right. We catch you guys next week, man. And get ready, man.